You know, my stomach and I have a very complicated relationship. It has guts. And it's also given me some grief over the last 2 years of being on Zepbound. And that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode, deep diving into the digestive challenges of taking Zepbound and solutions with them. If we don't know each other, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've lost over 107 pounds with Zepbound weight loss and Mounjaro and Tirzepatide compound the last 2+ years. And the combination of those medications, not at the same time, but because of shortages. Today's episode, we're going to deep dive into digestion and how you can use this to your benefit, solutions, tools, techniques. And also in my free encouragement group, we've been talking about this and I was like, I have to do this video. Like, we have to have a place where we can go. So feel free to share this with your besties for the most common ones, which the 4 most common ones, but there's others, is diarrhea, constipation, nausea, vomiting. I had all of those. I'm on the highest dose, Zepbound 15 milligrams. I've been on that particular dose for, gosh, over a year now. At least, has it been 16 months, 15 months, something like that? It's been over a year for Zepbound 15 milligrams. I did not have vomiting and nausea until I got to that dose. So keeping that in mind as you titrate up, for me, my experience, strength, and hope, and all this, by the way, none of it's medical advice. All of it's encouragement for you to talk to your healthcare provider. I'm not a healthcare provider. I don't pretend to play one on the internet. Simply being on this journey as one of the first, quote, guinea pigs on GLP-1 medication with Mounjaro and Zepbound. And having those 4 different ones are the most common ones, but there's also acid reflux and heartburn. I definitely had that on Zepbound 2.5 milligrams when I first started, and then when I titrated up to Zepbound 5 milligrams. It only lasted for about a week, the first week on Zepbound 5 milligrams, but still had it after I titrated up. In addition, bloating and gas. We're besties now, right? We can talk about bloating and gas, hopefully. Sulfur verps, and then decreased appetite that can also impact your digestion as well. So let's go through, we've got some of our challenges, I would say problems, but in my business mindset, they're challenges. Let's go ahead and give solutions, these 1-2 punches to help keep us at optimal level as we go through. And if you're on a weight loss journey like I've been on, it was all that I could do just to focus in on the food, let alone these digestive issue side effects with Tirzepatide and with Zepbound and Mounjaro too. So what the first tip number 1 is to help with these, and what's been so helpful for me as I've shifted over to this, is I used to have, and you probably can relate if you're morbidly obese, when I was morbidly obese, I would have like 3 plates full. I'd go back for another helping of food. The chickadee on the right loves to eat. I still love to eat, but a little bit different. With my food choices, having 3 big plates, now it's like a salad size, an appetizer size, very much different sizes. And I like to have 6 six meals, 5 to 6 smaller meals versus 2 to 3 big meals. I found with having these bigger meals, it definitely impacted my digestion on a GLP-1 medication. Before GLP-1, I could totally do that. I'm a huge lover of intermittent fasting. I love that. But I found for me 3 big meals, trying 4 to 5 smaller ones, or having, just trying and seeing. And so then that way it gives my stomach less to deal with. And when I put my fork down with that appetite suppression, I'm good to go with it. Number 2, going back to being morbidly obese, I had no concept of this second tip. And I never thought of myself as a fast eater, but literally starting to chew more slowly. The digestion starts within the mouth, and so giving my body a head start of that I'm full, digesting it into smaller pieces as opposed to bigger chunks. And how I started actually realizing I ate very fast. I'm a fast talker in general, but you can change that settings, by the way. You can change that down on the YouTube settings. But as a fast eater, I recognized from childhood, we always were hurrying somewhere to go to sports, to go do things. We're very active, and my life is still very enriched with my schedule, and I like it that way. I like having an enriched schedule. But I realized in this fast pace, boom, 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 that I was eating so quickly. That also affected my digestion. And I really do believe, because I came from a morbidly obese background, that definitely was even higher probably than, quote, normal folks, although normal folks are a dishwasher setting, normal. So learning how to change my cadence and rhythm when I'm eating, for me, and I'm not asking you to lean into this, but just pausing and praying and thinking for my food helps me to be like, okay, I'm eating now. I don't need to like doggy paddle. all the way through, like just a pause. For me, also, sometimes it can be just a deep breath or a recentering before I begin my meal to give thanks and to also reset my brain of I don't need to plow through this. Let's savor and enjoy, because the portion size is so much smaller. I really want to savor and enjoy that smaller portion size too. Number 3, one of the best things that I have done for me, and I am obsessed, it's with the Pique Pu'er teas. Their teas from Pique Teas are exceptional for digestion. Their line of the Pu'er teas, it has in there, and one of the things that I really, really love about it is the fermented Pu'er black tea digestion, and it also has the metabolism in there. It has in there, and this one is the hot. They have others that you can have cold, because y'all know I'm a beverage girly, honey. Beverage girly. And the secret behind the Pu'er teas is that it is living fermented superfoods. And so, y'all, I wasn't about to eat, I know I was supposed to eat fermented foods. I know that that's good for me. But y'all, I was like, talking to my husband, I'm like, maybe I should make homemade sauerkraut. And he's like, maybe you should just buy Pique teas, Pu'er teas with the fermentation in them. And I'm like, it's a bitter. Can you just imagine me making sauerkraut? Like, I'm the Swedish chef. So much easier, because they come in these beautiful sachets with them. And it has in there, and one of the things that I like, it has specifically for gut health. It's specifically for gut health, the microbiome diversity in there. It helps, and it tastes good. It tastes good, and that's one of the other things that I like. But because it's a warm tea, it's a hot tea, you don't put boiling water in there, just warm tea into, like, warm water. That feels so good for digestion. It feels so good. That's one of the other things that I really, really like about the Pu'er teas from Pique Tea, is it has on there that digestion component to go with it for the warm, like like kind of like soup belly, but with the warm tea in there as well, which is one of the things that I really, really like. I also like Pique Tea in terms of consuming it for, because I'm a beverage girly, honey. It has in there, they use 250-year-old wild tea trees, and they're harvested with old growth teas and pristine forest, honey. We love a good pristine forest, don't we? We know her at the pristine forest. But it's triple toxin screened and cold extracted with that rigorous screening for purity too, which I really appreciate. I very much appreciate that cold extraction technology in there as well. So Pique Tea has been super generous. Y'all know I love to negotiate discounts for us here at the Countess of Shopping community. And they were so kind and so thoughtful to give us a 20% off for life and receive the free starter kit with a rechargeable frother and glass baker. And it has in there the 90-day guarantee, money-back guarantee. You can go to piquelife.com/queen, Queen. That's also linked down in the description link below. And so here's that beaker. I'll tell you what, honey. Let me open this up. I just wanted to show you guys. Here's the sachet. This makes it so easy for travel too, which is one of the things I appreciate. I have in here warm water. You just put the tea in. It comes with a frother. This frother is so nice, by the way. Like, I'm literally obsessed. I'm like, thank you, Pique Tea, for sending me this amazing frother. And it comes, hold on, I don't want to spill it all over my studio equipment. Like, look how cool that is. Y'all, if you don't know, I had, well, y'all don't know, one of my family members, I won't tell which one, took my other frother and used it in the bathtub. Can you guess which family member that was? But on here it has, and then you just pour the beaker into like a beautiful glass. I guess you could drink it out of the beaker, but why would you? Pour it into a gorgeous glass, and it's warm tea. It is absolutely delicious. That has been super helpful for me with the digestion component, particularly for going back to like nausea, ding, 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 having diarrhea, the constipation component. Like, it's just very soothing to have a warm beverage with that too. Now, if you're not interested in having the warm beverage, they do also have other teas. Like, their ginger tea is amazing. Their other Pu'er tea is the fermented Pu'er green tea. If you're looking for radiant skin or loose skin as well, to my loose skin girlies. So anyways, having that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, identifying trigger foods. For me, very much greasy foods. I have been on a date with my hot husband. I was like, oh, I will have some pickle chips, like pickle, not French fries, but like fried pickles. Mistake. Literally was running. I realized it, and it was like the sound effect of my life was like, as I was running to get to the bathroom, like how unattractive on a hot date. I'm like, those fried pickles were a very bad idea. So avoiding like fatty foods, greasy foods, sugary foods, spicy foods. Spicy for some of you maybe, I'm not a big spice person, but spicy for some of you may cause indigestion that it didn't previously, or causing that nausea, are causing, having acid reflux, or some of those other causes for you. If you're developing, then maybe to tone down on the spicy food. For me, sugar, not as much, but obviously for my blood panels, I'm super mindful of sugar. But fatty foods, I can't have like a ribeye really anymore. I will lose 10 pounds after eating that. If you know what I mean, wink, wink. So approaching trigger foods, that, not that like ribeye is a trigger food, but you see what I'm saying? Like if it's causing you to have blowout diarrhea, and if you're watching this far, we're now besties, okay? Then just keeping, being able to pinpoint those as well, and even keeping a food journal with that too, super, super helpful. Next, hydration is key. Water, water, water. Y'all know I'm a beverage girly. I talk about this all the time. Also with having Pique tea in there too, I am obsessed. Because it has in there, where are we go? This one does have like moderate caffeine in there too. It's like middle of the grade caffeine. Some of them have no caffeine and some of them have more caffeine. So you can pick, like, that's the cool part about it too. But so being super mindful of water intake on there, very much something that I have trained my body on, particularly on day 2 and day 3 when I'm not eating as much. I'm drinking more beverages because the appetite suppression is so high. But I can kind of forget that on half-life dose, which is day 5, day 6, day 5 is half-life dose. But day 5, day 6, day 7, I have less appetite suppression. And so I'm eating more. So sometimes I on those days, I don't drink as much water as I would like to. So that's something I've been super intentional about. And you may say, Elizabeth, why are you super intentional? You've been on this medication for over 2 years. Yes, queen or king, I'm still learning. I'm a turtle. I mean, really unwinding some of these morbid obesity things has been a journey. This is why I do a daily show. Because like every day I'm like, oh, that's what normal people, like, they don't even think about that. Now, listening for my body for fullness is another thing too, which is super helpful. Going beyond that fullness level, which I've done, and I literally felt like I was going to throw up. It was like the food got pushed down because I was trying to binge eat afterwards. This was early on. And I realized I can't do that old behavior anymore. I cannot. It felt like the food literally was like right here and it was gonna come back up. I'm like, I literally would, like, I literally cannot push food down anymore. And so that for me, obviously, like enlisting in like therapy and other mental wellness things too, in addition to this, for me has been part of my journey as well. No shame in that game. For nausea, the Brat diet, bananas, rice, applesauce, toast, or plain crackers. You can get for nausea, by the way. If it's really severe, obviously for any of these, talk to your healthcare provider. Like if it's severe diarrhea or uncomfortable or like sharp pains, that is not normal. That is not normal. Strong smells for me too, in particular ground beef when cooking it. Like just the thought of that right now, I'm like, ooh, and cooking raw chicken. Like I'm just weird about meat cooking in general. When you think about something else, I'm thinking about my sweet dogs that are outside. Literally, if certain smells bother you too, for me on day 2 and day 3, I feel my shot the most 24 to 48 hours afterwards. So being super, super mindful of that, of strong smells, then perhaps we'll get takeout food, or you know what I mean? Or I'll have already pre-cooked a meal so I don't have to, I can just like heat up soup or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So for nausea, and then fresh air, walking outside and getting some vitamin D with sunshine. Constipation. One of the things a healthcare provider told me, they're like, we are trying to, if you're on Zepbound for sleep apnea or for weight loss, but people will increase a ton of fruits, a ton of vegetables for fiber, but then it could lead to some stomach issues with that too. So just being mindful of like gradual increases and not like to the moon of like fruits and veggies with it too. Constipation, I love magnesium as well. Movement, exercise, and in particular warm liquids for constipation, very helpful. Again, none of this medical advice, simply stuff that's worked well for me. For diarrhea, for sure, electrolytes, avoiding things like caffeine. Like too much caffeine can also trigger diarrhea too. artificial sweeteners, fatty foods, and having in there to help restore gut balance, hello, with the fermented pu'er tea that also helps with like restoring that that gut balance too. Bloating and gas, avoiding carbonated beverages. I am very much a carbonated beverage girly. I love sparkling water, love it, love it. And so just being mindful of that with when I've had bloating. If they say bloating and gas, the Countess doesn't have gas. But if you're having those things, limiting like beans, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, onions, they can be a culprit for that too, as well. And then acid reflux. This I had when I first started Zepbound 2.5 milligrams and when I titrated up to Zepbound 5 milligrams. So what was that, 2+ years ago? And we subsequently went to Disney that same time frame that I had titrated up. I will never forget being, getting ready for Disney and being like just the burning, not the vomit part, but like the burning of the acid reflux and heartburn. I'm like, dear Lord. And it happened when I was sleeping. And so if you have that too, just FYI, I did as well. Not eating 2 to 3 hours before bed. And then also me just physically sitting up was really, really helpful. Acidic foods, spicy foods, because of the delay in gastric emptying with Zepbound, you know, maybe avoiding those as well. Loose fitting clothing so it's not super constricting. Honey, now I'm always in like tight clothes. I was realizing that the other day. I was like looking at pictures and I was like, I wear a lot of tight pants now. Like, you know, like compression pants. I used to not wear leggings at all. I mean, she's in her leggings there. I wear leggings a lot. The pants I have on right now, I got them from Nordstrom's and because I wanted to test them, and they're supposed to be thin pants. So it's like tight and constricting. If I was having like heartburn and stuff, I probably would wear more free flow clothing. Sulfur burps. Okay, this is very slow digestion of certain foods. So if you have that, y'all, it stinks. First and foremost, I had somebody, God bless them. Someone belched in my face with their sulfur burps, and I was like, whoa, doggies. That is what you've been walking around with that mouth. Reminds me of that Ludacris song where he's like, what you got in that room? Like, that was the soundtrack for sulfur burps. What you got in that room? You guys know the Ludacris song I'm talking about? Dun, 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 that one. That's the song I'm talking about. That would be the soundtrack for sulfur burps. So, Bit Cookie, that was for you, by the way. She always encourages me to sing a song in every single video. If you guys have not picked up on that, I do always try to sing a song and like sing or rap a song in every video. It's because of Fitness Cookie, but I digress. So try to reduce the intake of your sulfur foods like eggs, dairy have high sulfur, red meat. I can never pronounce this word. It's the vegetables, like crudité, I think, is what they're trying to say. And see if that helps. The cruciferous one, C-R-U, I feel so ding-dongy, so please don't judge me, but C-R-U-C-I-F-E-R-O-S. And then like Tums or Pepto-Bismol as well can be helpful for sulfur burps too. Okay, so injection day. So if that is an issue for you because you don't want to have to miss work or social functions or whatever your priorities are or family stuff, for me, I have permission from my healthcare provider to slightly alter my shot date. So it took several weeks to do this, but altering the shot date, I've done a whole video on it about if I feel peak symptoms 24 to 48 hours after I take my shot, how can I go onto my Google Calendar and then reverse engineer what day I want to have my shot? That aids me. For me, having gnarly side effects starting on like Friday afternoon, Friday night, I was okay with that. I'm like, bring it on. But I need to be a workhorse. Otherwise. Also, I found having my shot on Sunday led me to have peak appetite suppression Monday, Tuesday, also peak side effects. But I could power through because I was working and I liked the mental distraction, but where I had some things of where like I was on set for I was at QVC for something. I was up at QVC's studio and I'm like, dear Lord, please don't let me vomit on this. It wasn't vomit. It wasn't vomit because that didn't come till Zepbound 15. It was diarrhea. It was in that pink suit. Have you guys seen that video? This was, if you binge watch my videos, it was from the pink suit, the same suit that I wore when I was on Oprah, that one. I was on the set of QVC and I was on it. And I'm like, please just don't let me have diarrhea. And smile through as we were talking and smile. You OGs know that when I was with up at QVC. I digress. So maybe changing and for me, the Zepbound shot location does matter. The back of my arm, substantially more side effects for me with the digestive issues. Also more weight loss as a result. People vary on that, and some people don't have that, and some people do. If you want to see more on that, you can see my shot site and shot time videos that I have in the playlist. Click the like and subscribe button. Titration schedule, when I titrated up doses, every single time I had more side effects. I just knew. So for me, okay, I know I'm going to titrate up this week. I know 24 to 48 hours, I'm going to have more side effects. Then I can literally, it's a math equation then. Okay, then what do I need to do with my schedule? What do I need to take off? What do I need to add later on? I know that on day 5, day 6, day 7, I feel better. That first week though, on day 5, day 6, day 7, because day 5 is the half-life dose, I did not feel better. Usually that whole week I felt gnarly. So just knowing I felt gnarly on that week, that's me. You may not be that. And if you're on a lower dose, you may not feel anything at all. And that's totally okay. For me, definitely, and the data shows Zepbound 10 milligrams. In the specific study that I'm thinking of and referencing, it doesn't talk about Zepbound 12.5 milligrams, but obviously that's included because it goes from Zepbound 10 milligrams to Zepbound 15 milligrams. In those doses, both show having more issues with titration, particularly on that first week. Stress management. You guys have heard, if you're in my free encouragement group, I've talked about it. And here I have too on YouTube. A family member has been in the hospital who has colon cancer, and it's a mess. It's a mess, and it's been very stressful. And it's been stressful. My husband left his job at Homeland Security and now works for our business over on countessofshopping.com. All things for GLP-1. He's running that show over there. He's doing a great job. If you haven't seen it, you should go over there and check. Get my free calorie calculator. Like, it's awesome. It's awesome, but it's been stressful. So mitigating stress management or managing stress management to mitigate stress, huge. And that can also, the stress can lead to digestive issues, which I very much have personally. Hello, that's why I've been like up in my peak tea. I've been in my peak tea era, honey, to help like calm her down. Okay, so red flag symptoms, things like severe nausea, because that can lead to like dehydration, dizziness, dark urine, dry mouth. I'm not a healthcare provider. I'm not trying to deduce you. That's not the word. What's the word? I'm not trying to like solve your, like, I don't know. If you're having, on Golden Girl, she's like, I've never been psychoanalyzed by a dipstick before. I've never given medical advice by a dipstick before. I'm not trying to give you medical advice. So, but if you're having these, they are kind of like red flags. Severe abdominal pain, especially if sudden, sharp, or localized. Prolonged constipation, no bowel movement for days. Severe diarrhea, blood in your stool or blood and vomit. Signs of pancreatitis, signs of gallbladder issues, right? Because that's less than 1% have severe side effects from Zepbound, and the media likes to make it seem like it's more than that, but that's basically what it is. Zepbound digestive issues, totally common. It's more than likely very manageable. A little bit for me, I go back to, I'll take a little bit of discomfort for this life. Like, I'll take a little bit of discomfort for this life that I live now, like me lifting weights, and honey, she is active. I can put my suitcase up in the overhead bin when I travel without asking anyone to help me. I mean, I love my hot husband, but I'm like, honey, I love my hot husband, but I don't need no man to help me. I do. In terms of my husband, I love him so much. I'm like, honey, you can help me anytime. But literally, I can do it on my own. I choose not to. That's my line. I'm like, I can do it on my own, but I choose not to. But literally, I can do it on my own now because of lifting. It has literally like been a game changer. I've shown like my bathing suit. Like, I wear bathing suits now. That being morbidly obese, like that was not my life before. It was very much, I couldn't clip the seatbelt on an airline plane. I couldn't ride roller coasters. Literally, we just booked another trip to go roller coaster riding. I'm so excited. I'm going to horse camp this summer because I'm not going to crush a horse weighing over 300 pounds. Couldn't ride a horse. And now I'm back to horseback riding. It makes me so happy. Like, doing these things I love. So I'll take the diarrhea. I'll take the sulfur, not the sulfur burps, but the acid reflux. I'm having it right now. Excuse me. Speak of the devil on their shoe appears. I rebuke that. But so hopefully all of these things will help you, and now you have tangible tools in your toolbox to use. Of course, honey, we're gonna do today, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me down in the description link below. I always love to know, for accountability. And then the other thing is our emoji of the day is going to be a little teacup. Pick a teacup. I do emojis of the day to get to know you better because I care. It's like our bat signal. I'll pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I will uplift you in positive thought. All are welcome at the Countess of Shopping table, figuratively. And make sure you go to piquelife.com/queen, Queen. There we go. I'll make sure you guys can see that. Queen, to go ahead and get that discount and then also get the beaker and the frother. Now, if you're watching this 6 months from now or a year from now or a year and a half from now, that very well may change. So like limited availability, like stuff may change, just keeping that in mind if you go there, like that's why I want you to click like and subscribe so you can stay on top of when this content comes out. I love you guys so super much. Make sure you share this video with your bestie who's on GLP-1 medication. If you've not clicked that subscribe button, go ahead and click her right now. I'll wait. Doot, 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 doot. I feel like I'm like working my arm muscles, like, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, friends.